Ruben Amorim has said Manchester United won't make a January signing unless there is common ground with Director of Football Jason Wilcox about which players can improve the squad. United look to have missed out on a deal for Antoine Semenyo with Manchester City ahead in the race to sign the Bournemouth winger. There have been links with other players, particularly central midfielders. Amorim has admitted that he isn't always on the same page as Wilcox when it comes to potential new additions. And he insists players won't arrive in January unless they get the sign-off from both the coaching staff and the board. Sometimes I have one idea, Jason and the board have another idea, Amorim said. Man United only signed Patrick Dorgu and Aiden Heaven last January, Amorim's first window in charge. Every decision we make, we need to reach a common ground. That is really important because you don't need to make everything for the manager because the manager can change and then you need to change everything. But you also need to understand the manager understands the way of playing. If you don't reach common ground, the player would not come, so we just try to do that. About Højlund. Napoli sporting director Giovanni Manna considers Rasmus Højlund's permanent transfer from Manchester United a formality. Højlund joined the Serie A champions on loan last summer, and the Denmark striker has scored 9 goals in 20 appearances, including a double in Sunday's 2-0 win at Cremonese. Napoli are currently third in Serie A, occupying one of Italy's 4 Champions League places. Rasmus Højlund is on loan at Napoli from Manchester United. There were more storied clubs interested, but his will was crucial, and we are proud of it. There's an option to buy and an obligation to buy if we qualify for the Champions League. The player considers himself a Napoli player, and the same goes for us. This is extremely important. Asked if Højlund's permanent Napoli transfer was just a formality, and Manna replied, "As of today, I think so." Højlund joined United from Atlanta in August 2023 for £64 million, $86 million, plus a potential £8 million, $11 million, in add-ons. The 22-year-old scored 14 goals in 62 Premier League appearances, and the fee for Højlund to move to Napoli is believed to be €44m, £38 million, $51 million, according to reports. Benjamin Sesko, Højlund's replacement at Old Trafford, has struggled to adapt to the Premier League and scored only twice since joining from RB Leipzig in a deal worth up to £73.7 million, $100 million. In other news, Manchester United target Diomande is wanted by Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain, while former Barcelona loanee João Cancelo is once again in the sights of the La Liga champions. Subscribe for the latest transfer news and rumors. Away from Manchester United. AFC Bournemouth head coach Andoni Iraola has said that Antoine Semenyo has not played his last game for the side despite growing noise. The forward is expected to leave the club in January. ESPN have previously reported that Manchester City are in advanced talks to sign Semenyo early in the January transfer window. However, Iraola has insisted that Tuesday night's 2-2 draw with Chelsea at Stamford Bridge was not the 25-year-old's last game in Bournemouth colours. "No, not in any moment we thought he was not going to play," Iraola said after the match. "I said it here to your colleagues outside. It was not his last game with us." After the draw with Chelsea, where the Semenyo bagged 1 assist, he was seen waving goodbye to travelling Bournemouth fans. However, Iraola has said he expects him to play against Arsenal when the South Coast club host the Gunners on January 3rd. "I don't know what is going to happen, but he will definitely play against Arsenal," the manager said post-match. "This is not his last game. He needs to recover because we play Arsenal at home in another 3 days, against top of the league. He will be an important player for us, yes." Sources have told ESPN that City are leading in the race for his signature, despite interest from Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, and Arsenal. Further talks with Semenyo's representatives are planned, and Bournemouth have been informed of City's intention to meet his release clause. Semenyo can leave the Vitality Stadium for £65 million, $87.6 million, before January 10th. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.